It's really easy to repopulate and replant. Everything is starting to look so green, and a lot of the plants that I planted earlier are starting to fill out and really take off. I think there's going to be a lot of growth in the coming weeks in these gardens. So in my last video we planted some established trees out the front here in my new food forest style garden, and today we're going to go and take a look around the gardens and see what things we can find to propagate up and start filling in some of those middle layers and some ground covers. So I've already got a lot of plants already established, especially out the back in my food forest style garden, and because we've had heaps of rain, lots of self-sown seeds are starting to pop up everywhere. So I'm going to take a look around, start digging some of those up and popping them out here into the front garden. My first yellow lemon cherry guava. I actually prefer these yellow ones to the red ones. I planted a yellow one at the same time, but it died, and I eventually replaced one out here, and it's only little, and this is the first guava. I am so bad at wearing gloves. I always forget. I always leave them in the garden, and I always end up with a whole bunch of right hand gloves and no left hand for some reason. But there's so many spiders and weird things in the garden, so I'm definitely need to remember to put my gloves on. So this is my food forest style garden out the back, and when I first started this I did actually grow a whole lot of annuals in here, so that's something that I'm going to also replicate out the front, because while I was waiting for these larger trees to grow I had a lot of light and a lot of space to plant. So I planted a lot of quick growing crops like lettuces and kale and tomatoes, things like that. So we are also going to pop some of those out the front as well and utilize that space while we wait for the larger trees to grow. I want to pack as much as I can in and utilize as much space and area as possible to grow as much food as I can. So this one here is a false cardamom, and it grows sort of like a little miniature ginger plant, and it has rhizomes under the ground that repopulate and send off new shoots like this. So there's already lots of little ones coming off the side here that will regrow, and this little one has a root too, so this grows really easily. It doesn't get very tall, so it's a really good understory plant. It has a really strong scent, and it is used to flavour things such as rice and tea and all sorts, but I haven't tried it out too much yet, so I've got to do some experimenting. But it is really easy to repopulate and replant, and I've already done that in little patches around the garden here, and it looks really tropical and beautiful as well. Next up I'm going to dig up some of these edible cannas, and I've already done that. Lots of areas throughout this garden I've dug up little rhizomes and replanted them, getting a whole lot of free plants. So we're going to do that, get some of those and take them out the front. But I've just found a sweet potato hiding in here, so let's dig that up too. I've just found another sweet potato. This is turning into a bit of a sweet potato mission when I was really meant to be propagating up some of these cannas, but we'll take it. So what we're looking for is little side shoots that we can pry apart and take some of the roots and separate it off. So as you can see, it's got lots of roots on here. This will be a new shoot popping off the side. And it just continues to clump and regrow. It's already got a little shoot, so that one will be good to plant in the garden. There's lots more down here. So all of these ones here were just planted from a single side shoot that I dug up further down, and as you can see, there's heaps here, and look how beautiful they are. Plus these are edible, you can eat these just like a potato, and I made some delicious chips from these recently. Oh, it looks like we might get rained on. Alright, so this one here, it's got two, so I can snap this in half actually. And now I can replant these, and this one was already sending off a side shoot. So these are going to establish in no time, and they provide lots of greens, so I can use this for chop and drop, and they're going to provide a whole lot of diversity in my new food forest garden. So now let's go get these planted. Alright, so we've got our bulbs all ready to go, and now we can pop them in here and start filling up the gaps.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down.
Alright, so now we've got those perennials planted in there and repopulating. I think it is time that we put some annuals in there to really utilise some quick growing crops this cool season. So I am going a little bit extreme with this garden. I'm going high density, which does mean that I might not get the optimum amount of fruit on each tree because everything is planted a lot closer together. But out here my biggest issue is too much sun. This is a garden bed that's going east to west it gets full sun all day and it is so hot out here. So I am planting densely to really help support all of these trees and create a little bit more shade. Citrus like full sun, so that is something to really consider. My food forest style garden out the back, that would not cope with a lot of citrus because it does get shade, a lot of shade in winter. But out here we do not have that problem. But something you can do if you are wanting to utilize that garden bed but you don't want to plant any more mature trees or trees that will get large, is to start using it for annuals. So today I'm going to plant some kale in here. This is the Tuscan black kale. It's my favorite type of kale. I'm going to save some of these for the garden beds, but I'm going to pop some here in this food forest style garden to utilize that space while we wait for all of these other things to grow.
Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down. Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know, really wanna know.
There's lots of worms in here, which is good to see. Make sure you are subscribed because lots more is happening in this garden bed. I'm not stopping here. This is going to be a full-on experiment. I'm really going to keep planting and planting and planting until it is thick and lush and high density, full of plants, full of edible plants. So we've got more planting to do.